Welcome to Let's Talk Special Economic Zones, raising awareness of the impact of SEZs on people, planet, profits, and governance with Ainsley Brown.
Hi, welcome everyone to another episode of Let's Talk Special Economic Zones. I'm your host, Ainsley Brown. And in today's episode, we're going to cover using special economic zones as a tool to build economic resilience. And, zones are very dynamic. They're right across the world. They're used in both developed and developing countries for a variety of reasons, economic reasons. The primary reason, of course, is to for the typical things, attract investment, whether local investment, foreign investment, have technology transfer, jobs, growth, development, all of those good economic things, sound economic things that you have. Exactly how that is done and what you're attracting will vary per country and what is being targeted, right? Now, zones are, designated areas, sometimes called free trade zones, foreign trade zones, free zones, enterprise areas, variety of industrial parks. It's a designated area that a government has, basically carved out, put some tax breaks on it. Typical tax break is duty-free exemption on, you know, raw materials and things brought in. Sometimes they're incentivized to purchase from the rest of the host economy, and maybe they reduce or eliminate the value added tax, for example, on items. And also, a typical incentive is corporate income tax, either a lower rate versus what's, a company would pay normally, or sometimes total elimination. More modern regimes tend to have those things time bound, versus it just being forever. So you get the break for the next 10 years or 20 years, whatever has been agreed, right? And sometimes it's negotiable. So in terms of building resilience, and I should also say building robustness, the two are often conflated and confused, but resilience in essence is your ability to withstand or recover from shock, right? Economic shock, maybe a natural disaster, hurricane, earthquake, COVID-19, for example. Whereas robustness is your ability to withstand the shock while it is happening, right? You need both, right? You definitely need both. And so what special economic zones offer, in one cluster, so to speak, one geographic space, is that ability, if planned well, if the policy, the requisite policies are put in place, and it is focused in that area, to withstand shock. So for example, the zone can be used or be triggered in terms of using it for disaster mitigation purposes, in the sense of, say, it's being used as a strategic depot for the storage of petroleum, and then natural disaster happens, the country may then need to access that petroleum, even though it was bound for export. There would be prior arrangements. This is not about expropriation at all. This is prior arrangement, contractual arrangement set up to allow the country to have access to that, and potentially, not necessarily, but potentially even at a preferential rate, something below even market rate or something like that, right? Um, or at a already agreed price. So it could be above or below the market rate depending on what was agreed prior to. So that can be done. Also bringing or using the economy to target, or the zones, I should say, target certain strategic materials. Let's say a country is a major agriculture exporter. Now it wants to move into processing those items, or to a higher degree. Maybe it processes already, but it wants to um, do more processing. it could then start to target companies that do bottles, right? Bottles or cans, to come relocate, which would then um, move their economy up the value chain. So now you're moving from just simply exporting the commodity, raw commodity, to actually processing it to have a particular processed material out of it. And also, you'd then also be attracting potential global brands who would say, you exported ketchup. Now you're you exported tomatoes. Now you are exporting ketchup, right? And you might attract Heinz, for example, to come and do processing in your country. But then you also have the bottle maker that either makes plastic bottles or makes the glass bottles for Heinz, amongst others, not exclusive to them per se, but you get the picture. So zones can then be used very strategically to add that resilience and robustness to an economy if planned correctly. So if you like this episode, please like, share, subscribe. And if you want to see me do a particular topic, just leave me a comment down below and I'll get right back to you. Bye for now.